Okay friends, it's time to get started on replacing our front sway bar link. Typically when you do these, you're going to do them as a pair. Now one of the first things you're going to have to do is safely raise and support the front of your vehicle so that your control arms come down. You don't necessarily need to remove the front wheels, but you can if you feel like you want to. Aside from that, the next thing that we're going to do after that is remove this lower bolt right here and then do the same on the other side of the truck. Once you have both of the bolts out of there, we're going to continue on to lifting our sway bar up a little bit so we'll have access to our nuts on the back side of it. Now with the bar lifted up, the next thing that we want to do is remove the nut from the sway bar link stud. What you're probably going to notice though is when you try to remove the nut, the stud spins as well. If you look in the center of the stud, you can see an area where you can put an Allen head wrench. Hold the stud with the wrench and then of course remove the nut. If you don't feel like doing that, you could just use some locking pliers on the boot end. Okay, so after you go ahead and remove the other side sway bar link, the next thing that you're going to want to do is get ready for your install. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and slide this through the sway bar, and then I'll start on my nut. After I get it on there, I'll snug it up and torque it to 111 foot-pounds. Now that we have this sway bar link torqued, the next thing you want to do is go over and torque the other side sway bar link as well, assuming you're doing them as a pair. After you've done that, we're going to continue on to putting in our lower bolt right into here. Now the next thing that you're probably going to notice is the bushing on the inside of the sway bar link kind of goes a little bit of an angle. So the next thing that I want to do is carefully jack up underneath the control arm to try to level this out. Now with that jacked up, with pressure on it, we're going to continue on to carefully lifting up on the pry bar a tiny bit. We're going to just try to line up this hole. Okay, now go ahead and start in your bolt. Once it's snug, go ahead and torque it to 89 foot-pounds. All right, now do the same on the other side of the truck. All right, let's get the wheel back up on here. Start on all of your lug nuts, snug them up, we'll get the wheel back on the ground, and then we'll torque it to manufacturer specifications. Now with the wheel on the ground, we're going to continue on to torquing these lug nuts. Something to pay attention to though is if you have aluminum wheels, like these right here, you're going to be torquing them to 97 foot-pounds. If you have steel wheels, which of course would mean that a magnet can stick to them, you're going to torque them to 154 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay friends, we got the truck back together. What's left to do now? Go ahead and take your truck for a road test. Make sure you don't hear any funny noises.